These boots walk through hell. Now they're looking for heaven. I was 18 when I crossed that line, stole a truck and left the life behind. Mama cried by the front porch rail, said, son, don't let your soul derail. But I was hard, too blind to hear, fueled by rage and burning fear. Ran with men who knew no peace, chasing gold and quick release. The roads were long, the nights ran black, left no room for looking back. Every town was smoke and dust, every deal was built on rust. And these blackened boots on my feet still drag the weight of old defeat. A man can hide in the dead of night, but truth still waits in morning light. And every mile beneath my soul only dug deeper in my soul. These blackened boots still walk in shame. Lord, I'm tired of this endless pain. I've worn the dark like second skin, and lost myself in all my sin. If mercy still can find me here, through all this dust and all these tears, lead me home through storm and truth. In these blackened boots, there was a friend I used to know, brother close from long ago. We swore we'd make it out alive, but one went down so one survived. I still see his face at night, frozen in that pale moonlight. His last words ring inside my chest, don't let this life become your rest. But I kept running deaf and cold, turned that memory into stone, till one day in a roadside bar, his old guitar played from afar. A stranger sang the song we knew, and every line cut straight in two, like heaven using simple sound to drag my lost heart to the ground. Some ghosts don't leave, they teach you pain, till grace can grow through all the rain. These blackened boots still walk in shame. Lord, I'm tired of this endless pain. I've worn the dark like second skin, and lost myself in all my sin. If mercy still can find me here, through all this dust and all these tears, lead me home through storm and truth. In these blackened boots, I found a chapel near the tracks, paint peeled thin and roof turned black. A wooden sign hung by one nail, like faith itself had almost failed. Inside was quiet, cold and bare, but somehow peace was waiting there. I dropped my head and bent my knees, and let the silence carry me. Said, Lord, I ain't got much to bring, just broken bones and shattered dreams. I've worn my pride like iron chains, and drowned my soul in endless pain. The candle flickered by the wall, and in that glow I felt so small, but somehow lighter than before. Like mercy walked through that old door, for the first time in all these years. I let the Lord see all my fears. These blackened boots still walk in shame, but now I know you know my name. I've worn the dark like second skin, but you still let your light come in. If mercy still can carry me through all my scars and memory, then I'll keep walking toward the truth. in these blackened boots. Boots wear down from miles and pain, leather cracks in wind and rain, but hearts can break and heal the same when mercy calls them back by name. I can't erase the roads I chose or heal the hearts my pride once broke, but I can walk a better line, one day at a time. Now I'm heading where I began, older bones but changed within. Mama's house still stands out there, cross on the wall and faith and prayer. If she opens up that door, I won't be the man before. And if she asks where I have been, I'll say I found the end of sin. These boots still carry dirt and scars, but now they walk beneath the stars, and every step feels less alone, like God Himself is leading home. These blackened boots still walk with grace, no more hiding from my place. Lord, you took the worst in me and gave my soul the strength to breathe. Now mercy's all I wanna prove, with every step and every move, till the day I'm called to truth. I walk in these blackened boots, blackened boots. Walking home. I've been running for too many years. Wore my sins like a heavy coat, carried pain in the lines I wrote. Miles of shadows behind these boots, broken roads and bitter truth. I chased the night, I chased the flame, left behind every soul and name. But the silence grew like an empty grave. No wild road could make me saved. Now the wind keeps calling low to a place I used to know. I'm kneeling in the dust tonight, with dirty hands and hollow eyes. Lord, I wandered far from grace, trying to outrun my own mistakes. If mercy falls like rain above, wash this heart that forgot love. I'm just a lost man wanting rough, kneeling in the dust. Old church standing by the pines, painted white by borrowed light. Wooden cross in a cracked front door, like it's been waiting here before. I heard my mama's voice again, saying, son, come back from where you've been. Through the ache and the midnight cold, I felt a hand upon my soul. All my burdens, all my shame, still he calls me just the same. I'm kneeling in the dust tonight, with dirty hands and hollow eyes. Lord, I wandered far from grace, trying to outrun my own mistakes. If mercy falls like rain above, wash this heart that forgot love. I'm just a lost man, worn and rough, kneeling in the dust. I can't undo the roads I burn, or take back all the years I turned. But if your light still shines for me, maybe that's enough to believe. I'm kneeling in the dust tonight, underneath your endless sky. A broken man with nothing left, but a little faith inside my chest. If mercy's real, then let it come, like morning breaks after the storm. I ain't running anymore, kneeling in the dust. No more running, no more running. I wore the dark like armor, till it rusted through. I was raised where the river bends, where prayers were sung and fences mended. Mama taught me right from wrong, but I learned my lessons from outlaw songs. Daddy said, boy, guard your soul, but I let the wild wind take control. Left that farm with a restless fire, chasing silver and dark desire. The roads were cruel, the nights were mean. I lost myself in places unseen. Every dollar felt like dust, every promise turned to rust, and the stars above still burned my name, like they knew I'd come back changed. This rusted halo on my brow, Lord, can you still want me now? I wore my pride like holy gold, but underneath my heart grew cold. If grace still shines through all my wrong, teach this broken soul your song. Take this rusted halo down and turn my life around. I met a man on a winter train, old and bent with eyes of rain. He said, son, I know you're kind, always running from what's inside. He pulled a cross from round his neck, said, God ain't done with you just yet. I laughed and said, that road ain't mine, but his words stayed in my mind. That same night night in a motel room. Silence felt like certain doom. All the faces from my past rose like smoke I couldn't cast, and every ghost I tried to lose came back wearing my old shoes. This rusted halo on my brow, Lord, can you still want me now? I wore my pride like holy gold, but underneath my heart grew cold. If grace still shines through all my wrong, teach this broken soul your song. Take this rusted halo down and turn my life around. By the canyon where the dry winds cry, I drop my knees beneath the sky. No roof above, no church in sight, just the stars and endless night. I said, Lord, I ain't clean at all. I've built my life on every fall, but if your love still reaches far, find me here beneath these scars. The wind stood still, the air turned warm, like peace had walked into the storm. And for the first time in my life, I felt hope cut through the strife, like a hand through dust and pain, pulling me to life again. This rusted halo on my brow, Lord, can you still want me now? I wore my pride like holy gold, but underneath my heart grew cold. If grace still shines through all my wrong, and mercy gave my soul a song, left that rusted halo there and turned my life around. A halo ain't for perfect men, it's for hearts made whole again. And scars don't fade just overnight, but grace can lead you to the light. I spent my years in hollow flame, building fires with guilt and shame, but mercy waits where pride lets go. That's the truest thing I know. Now I ride through my hometown gate, older now, but not too late. Mama's porch still stands the same, and she still whispers Jesus' name. I held her hands and bowed my head for all the years I left her begging, and in her tears I finally saw love was stronger than my flaws. This rusted halo's falling down, no more king without a crown. Lord, you saw through all my lies and brought the truth into my eyes. Now grace still shines through all my wrong, and mercy gave my soul a song, left that rusted halo there and found your love in prayer. Rust to dust, dust to grace. This old road knows my sins, but heaven still sees my name. I was 20 when I left that farm, with a loaded past and restless arms. Daddy's hands were rough as stone, Mama prayed I'd make it home. I laughed at faith, I cursed the sky, thought I'd live before I died. Chased the glow of outlaw gold, till my young heart turned cold. Every mile I rode away buried more of yesterday. Every lie became my skin till I couldn't tell where I'd been. The whiskey burned, the nights were long. Every bar sang the same sad song. And in the mirror's cracked old frame, I barely knew my own damn name. A man can run, a man can hide, but truth still rises by his side. This dust-bound prayer falls from my lips like broken faith from fingertips. Lord, I'm weary, bruised and torn, a soul too long in darkness worn. If your mercy still runs deep for promises I couldn't keep, then hear me now through desert air. This dust-bound prayer. There was a brother I once knew, blood of mine steady and true. He begged me stay and build a life instead of chasing guns and strife. But pride was louder than his voice, and I made my reckless choice. Years went by and word came late. He was buried by heaven's gate. I never stood beside his grave, too ashamed of what I became. Now his memory rides with me like a ghost I'll never leave. The guilt cuts deeper than a knife for wasting all that honest life. And every sunrise feels too late to mend the weight of all that fate. Time keeps moving cold and fast, but shadows always chase the past. This dust-bound prayer falls from my lips like broken faith from fingertips. Lord, I'm weary, bruised and torn, a soul too long in darkness worn. If your mercy still runs deep for promises I couldn't keep, then hear me now through desert air. This dust-bound prayer. I found an old church off Route 9, half collapsed and out of time. Wooden beams and shattered glass, like a monument to all my past. I walked inside, the floorboards cried like they knew the tears I'd hide. And there beneath that crooked cross, I counted everything I'd lost. Said, Lord, I don't deserve your grace. I've dragged my soul through every waste. But if your love still knows my name, please don't leave me in these flames. The silence sat then soft and wide, like peace had found me from inside. Not a voice, not thunder sound, just mercy settling on the ground. For the first time in all my years, I bowed beneath my weight and tears. This dust-bound prayer falls from my lips like broken faith from fingertips. Lord, I'm weary, bruised and torn, a soul too long in darkness worn. If your mercy still runs deep for promises I couldn't keep, then hear me now through desert air. This dust-bound prayer. A prayer ain't clean when it begins. It's born in sorrow, born in sin. But maybe heaven hears it best when broken broken hearts have nothing left. I can't undo the roads I chose, can't revive what time stole. But if tomorrow still is mine, I'll walk it on a straighter line. Morning came through fields of dust, soft as grace and warm as trust. I felt lighter than before, like chains had fallen to the floor. I rode back home with shaking hands, to the place where grace still stands. Mama's porch was old but bright, like a lantern in the night. She held me close and softly cried, said, "Son, I knew you'd come alive." And in her arms I finally knew God had carried me all through. This dust-bound prayer still fills my soul, where broken rivers once ran cold. Lord, you found me in my fall, and still you answered when I called. And now your mercy runs so deep, for promises I couldn't keep. And every breath I breathe from here will be my dust-bound prayer. Dust to dust, grace to grace. Years on a broken trail, still carrying the weight. I was born with a growling's cry underneath that endless sky. Daddy worked till his hands turned stone. Mama prayed we'd find our home. But I was young and full of fire, chasing dreams and dark desire. Left that town with a rebel's flame, and came back wearing a stranger's name. The nights were long, the whiskey burned, 1,000 lessons never learned. I traded love for reckless gold, and sold my soul out in the cold. Every road I chose to ride left another truth behind. I'm walking down this road to grace, with all my sins upon my face. Lord, I've run through endless storms, trying to hide what I've become. If your mercy still remains for a heart that's filled with stains, then let it shine and light my way on this long road to grace. I've seen the moon on prison bars, felt the dark beneath the stars, heard the cries of broken men who swore they'd rise but fell again. I wore regret like iron chains, carried loss like winter rain. Faces haunt me in my sleep, promises I couldn't keep. There was a woman once I knew, her eyes were clear, her heart was true. She begged me stay, I turned away and watched her tears like Judgment Day. Now her memory cuts like steel, sharper than the wounds I feel. I'm walking down this road to grace, with all my sins upon my face. Lord, I've run through endless storms, trying to hide what I've become. If your mercy still remains for a heart that's filled with stains, then let it shine and light my way on this long road to grace. Last night by an old dirt road I found a chapel worn and cold, paint peeled off and windows cracked like all the years I can't take back. Inside the walls were stained with time, but there was peace I'd never find. I knelt down where the old wood creaked, and for the first time I felt weak. I said, Lord, if you hear me now, I don't know when and I don't know how, but I'm so tired of all this fight. Can you pull me from this endless night? And in the silence, soft and deep, I felt a calm wash over me. I'm walking down this road to grace with all my sins upon my face. Lord, I've run through endless storms, trying to hide what I've become. If your mercy still remains for a heart that's filled with stains, and let it shine and light my way on this long road to grace. I can't erase the bloodless scars or heal the wounds beneath these stars, but maybe grace ain't about being clean. Maybe it's found in what has been. Maybe broken souls like mine can still be held by hands divine. Maybe love still waits somehow, even for a man like now. The morning broke through fields of gold, warming up this heart so cold. For the first time in many years I let go of all my fears. I thought of Mama's gentle hands, Daddy's words I understand. All the roads that led me here, all the pain, the loss, the tears. And though my past still calls my name, I know I'll never be the same. The chains I wore have lost their hold, and mercy's stronger than the old. I'm walking down this road to grace, no more shame I have to chase. Lord, you found me in the dark, lit a fire inside my heart. And though the miles are far from done, I'll keep walking toward the sun. With every step my soul will say, thank God for this road to grace. This road is long, but I ain't alone. Grace brought me home. Like a king, till the dark took everything. I built my throne on reckless dust, on borrowed gold and shattered trust. Thought power could erase my pain, but all it brought was endless rain. I ran these roads with iron pride, kept my sorrow locked inside. 1,000 towns, 1,000 lies, still couldn't hide these haunted eyes. The bottle burned, the cards were cold, the devil deals in hearts and gold. And every hand I thought I won left me emptier when dawn had come. Now the echoes call my name, and I ain't the same. This broken crown upon my head feels heavier than the words I said. Lord, I wore it like a king of sin. Now I lay it down and let you in. If mercy's stronger than my fall, catch me now before I crawl. Take this broken crown away and show me grace today. Mama's picture in my coat, a faded prayer and words she wrote. Son, when your world comes crashing down, there's still love where grace is found. I laughed at those old sacred lines, chased the dark through wasted time. But now her voice still follows me through every storm and memory. There was a son I left behind, too young to know this life of mine. His little hands once held my own. Now he's grown and I'm alone. All the roads I used to know led me where I feared to go. This broken crown upon my head feels heavier than the words I said. Lord, I wore it like a king of sin. Now I lay it down and let you in. If mercy's stronger than my fall, catch me now before I crawl. Take this broken crown away and show me grace today. By the river where the pines lean low, I found a church I used to know. The doors were old, the floor was warm, like a place where souls are reborn. I knelt beneath that wooden cross, counting all the things I'd lost. And for the first time in my life, I let go of all my pride. Said, Lord, I wandered far too long, built my life on what was wrong. But if your hands still reach for me, pull me from this misery. In the stillness I could hear a voice that calmed my fear. This broken crown upon my head feels heavier than the words I said. Lord, I wore it like a king of sin. Now I lay it down and let you in. If mercy's stronger than my fall, catch me now before I crawl. Take this broken crown away and show me grace today. A crown ain't worth the soul it breaks, or all the love a man forsakes. I learned too late what matters most, a father's love, a faithful hope. And though my scars still mark my skin, they don't decide the man within. 'Cause grace can mend what pride destroyed and fill the empty, hollow void. The sunrise painted heaven red, like mercy pouring overhead. I stood up slow, a different man, still weak but stronger than I'd been. Wrote my boy a letter home, said I'm sorry I was gone, and if he lets me through that door, I'll be his father evermore. This broken crown is on the ground, no longer weighs my spirit down. Lord, you took the king I played and made a humble man of clay. Now mercy's stronger than my fault, and love has answered every call. I left that broken crown behind and finally found the light. No king now, just grace. secrets. Till I laid them down. I was raised where the cotton grew by muddy banks and morning dew. Mama sang those gospel lines, Daddy worked from dark to shine. But I was born with restless veins, always running toward the rain. Left that town with a rebel's grin, and let the darkness pull me in. I chased fast money, crooked roads, carried lies like heavy loads. Every town I touched turned gray, and every friend just slipped away. The cards went cold, the bottles dried, but guilt kept riding by my side. Like a shadow stitched to bone, a man can't outrun what he owns. And every night that river called like heaven knew before my fall. Down by the cold Mercy River, I laid my burden in the tide. Lord, I've been a broken drifter, too much sorrow left inside. If your grace still flows forever, let it wash this heart of stone. Down by the cold Mercy River, bring this lost man home. There was a girl in Arkansas, blue-eyed faith and tender flaws. She loved me when I had no worth, like she could see beneath the dirt. She begged me stay, build something real, but I was numb, too hard to feel. I kissed her cheek and rode away, still hear her crying to this day. Years rolled hard like winter steel, turned my heart to something unreal. And every sunrise brought me pain, like heaven calling me by name. I heard she passed some years ago, that news cut deeper than I know. Now all I got are ghosts and rain, and prayers too late to break the chain. Some losses never leave your side, they live where old regrets reside. Down by the cold Mercy River, I laid my burden in the tide. Lord, I've been a broken drifter, with too much sorrow left inside. If your grace still flows forever, let it wash this heart of stone. Down by the cold Mercy River, bring this lost man home. One autumn night by River Bend, I met a preacher, old and bent. He held a lantern in his hand, like light was all he'd ever planned. He said, son, I know that stare, like a man too tired to care. But mercy waits where pride lets go, and God still walks the roads below. I stood there still, too worn to speak, felt my whole soul turning weak. And when he prayed beside that stream, it cracked me open at the seams, like water wearing down the stone. I felt less lost, less alone. Down by the cold Mercy River, I laid my burden in the tide. Lord, I've been a broken drifter, with too much sorrow left inside. If your grace still flows forever, let it wash this heart of stone. Down by the cold Mercy River, bring this lost man home. A river don't judge the dirt it holds, it just keeps moving calm and cold. Maybe mercy's just the same, still flowing through our hurt and shame. I can reclaim the years I burned, or all the love I never learned. But if redemption's in this stream, maybe I'm closer than I seem. At sunrise by that riverbank, I bowed my head and finally thanked for every scar that led me here, for every loss, for every tear. I wrote my mama one last line, said your prayers outlive my pride. And if my Lord still calls my name, I'll walk that road through fire and rain. Now when the night grows hard and long, I hear that river like a song, and every current whispers clear that grace is always drawing near. Down by the cold mercy river, I gave the man I used to be. Lord, you took this broken sinner and pulled his soul up from the deep. Now your grace still flows forever through every scar and memory. Down by the cold mercy river, you gave new life to me. Cold mercy river, carry me home. I used to fear an old man, now I fear what I became. I left my home with fire in my chest, a young man chasing what he thought was best. Mama prayed with tears in her eyes, but I rode away beneath those skies. Daddy said, son, don't lose your way. But pride was louder than what he'd say. I wore rebellion like a crown, till every road just brought me down. I made my living on broken trust, chasing silver through bloodless dust. Every deal left a deeper scar, every mile took me farther far. And all the nights I spent alone felt colder than a heart of stone. Still I kept on moving blind, trying to outrun my own mind. But the truth rides hard behind, never leaves a man's mind. This hollow amen leaves my lips like shattered faith from fingertips. Lord, I've fallen far and wide, with nowhere left for me to hide. If mercy still can call my name, this hollow amen. There was a woman back in June who loved me like a gospel tune. She held my hand through all my storms and kept my heart a little warm. But I was wild, too blind to stay, too lost to choose a better way. I left her crying in the rain and carried off my endless pain. Years later in a lonely town, I heard she'd finally settled down, had children, peace and honest days, far from all my crooked ways. And though I'm glad she found her light, it haunts me in the dead of night, knowing I could have built that life instead of running from what's right. Some truths cut sharper than a blade when all the debts have been repaid. This hollow amen leaves my lips like shattered faith from fingertips. Lord, I've fallen far and wide, with nowhere left for me to hide. If mercy still can call my name through all this hurt and all this shame, then hear me now, I understand. This hollow amen. An amen ain't always strong. Sometimes it breaks, sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it crawls through tears and pain, still reaches heaven just the same. I can't erase what I have done, can't outrun what I've become, but maybe grace is not the past. Maybe grace is built to last. At dawn I walked that muddy road with lighter hands and a smaller load. The sky was gray but somehow clear, like mercy whispered in my ear. I passed the fields where I once played, where Daddy worked and Mama prayed. And for the first time in my life I thank the Lord for every fight, because the pain that broke me down led me where true grace is found. And though my soul still bears the stain, I know I won't be lost again. This hollow amen leaves my lips, but now it's held by stronger hands. Lord, you heard me in the rain and carried off my years of pain. Now mercy still can call my name and wash away the deepest shame. And every breath I take will stand as my hollow amen. Amen. Still hear me. That old horse still waits, but I ain't the man who rode away. Left this town on a cold spring dawn, with a black hat low and my coat pulled on. Young and wild with a heart of stone, swore to God I'd make my own. Mama cried by the porch that day, said, "Son, don't let your soul drift away." But I laughed and rode into the night, thinking wrong could still feel right. The road was long and the money fast, but every blessing never seemed to last. I wore my sins like desert sand, slipping through my broken hands. Years roll by like tumbleweeds, blowing through forgotten dreams. Now this empty saddle beside me rides like the ghost of my old life. Lord, I'm weary from the miles and the pain behind my eyes. If there's mercy left for me, for the man I used to be, guide me home through storm and battle, past this empty saddle. I slept beneath the blood-red moon, counting every wasted tune. Every bar and every fight only made the dark grow wide. There was a woman I once loved, soft as rain sent from above. She begged me stay, I rode away and lost her in the break of day. Heard she married years ago, built a life I'll never know. Still her memory cuts so clean, like a knife through all my dreams. Some regrets don't fade with time, they just carve deeper in your mind. Now this empty saddle beside me rides like the ghost of my old life. Lord, I'm weary from the miles and the pain behind my eyes. If there's mercy left for me, for the man I used to be, guide me home through storm and battle, past this empty saddle. Came upon an old dirt church, like a lantern in the earth. Weathered wood and rusted nails, standing strong through storms and hail. I tied my horse beneath the tree and stepped inside on trembling knees. The preacher looked and knew my face, like he'd seen 1,000 lost in grace. He said, "Son, no road's too far for God to heal your wounded heart." And I broke down like pouring rain, for the first time felt my shame. All the pride I used to wear fell apart like dust in air. Now this empty saddle beside me rides like the ghost of my old life. Lord, I'm weary from the miles and the pain behind my eyes. If there's mercy left for me, for the man I used to be, guide me home through storm and battle, past this empty saddle. A horse can carry broken men, but can't bring back the years again. Still every mile can lead you near, if your heart is finally clear. Maybe home ain't where you start, maybe home is where heals the heart. And maybe grace is all it takes to mend the man your sin once breaks. Now the sun breaks through the haze, warming up my older days. I ride slow down that narrow lane, not the same man who chased the pain. There's a house beyond the hill, Mama's cross hangs there still. And if that door still opens wide, maybe I'll step back inside. This empty saddle don't ride no more. I laid that burden at the door. Lord, you carried all my shame and called this outlaw by his name. Now the road ahead feels free, like you've been waiting here for me. No more running, no more battle, left behind that empty saddle. That old horse still waits, but now I know the way. Lord, can you hear me now? Out here in the dark, I lit my life like a wildfire burns, watching bridges fall and turn. Ran through towns with a restless soul, leaving behind what I couldn't hold. Dust on my coat, rust on my ring, a hollow man with broken wings. I chased the thunder, outran the light, but the dawn never found my side. I stole my peace for empty gold, bought my freedom but paid in cold. Now every mile feels twice as long, like I've been carrying all this wrong. The desert sky don't hide my shame, every star still knows my name. Turn these ashes into rain, wash away this hurt and pain. Lord, I've fallen hard and deep, lost the promises I couldn't keep. If your mercy still remains, pour it down like holy rain. Take this heart that's burned away and bring me back again. I found a Bible by the tracks, covered up in dirt and black. Pages torn, but words still clear, like they've been waiting all these years. Read about a man once lost who found his way through pain and cost. And in those lines I saw my face, a weary soul in need of grace. There was a child I left behind, a little boy with my old eyes. He must be grown by now, I guess. Wonder if he knows my mess. Every tear I never cried came alive tonight inside. Turn these ashes into rain, wash away this hurt and pain. Lord, I've fallen hard and deep, lost the promises I couldn't keep. If your mercy still remains, pour it down like holy rain. Take this heart that's burned away and bring me back again. The canyon winds began to sing like angels humming through the spring. I dropped to my knees in the dirt below, with nowhere left for me to go. Said I ain't asking to change my past. I know some shadows always last, but if there's room for one like me, show me what redemption means. And in the stillness, cold and wide, I felt the weight fall from inside. Not gone forever, not erased, but softened by amazing grace. For the first time I could breathe, like the chains had loosened me. Turn these ashes into rain, wash away the weight of shame. Lord, you found me in the dust, taught this broken heart to trust. And if tomorrow calls my name, I'll stand beneath that cleansing rain. No more running, no more pain. You turn my ashes into rain. Ashes to rain.